Anybody up for a little game of fantasy versus reality? 3 clips. Let's see if you can figure out which ones are real and which ones are fairy tales.
Davis was captured about 20 miles away in Fair Bluff, and today a judge concluded he won't be able to bond out of jail. Tonight, ACLU Davis is in Columbus County with the details.
SBI agents and highway patrolmen continue canvassing the scene where 11-year veteran trooper Kevin Connor was killed. Little did the suspect who fired the shots know cameras were rolling both on the trooper's dash cam and at this convenience store. Morgan Cribb owns the shop and knows Trooper Connor personally.
We had a guy out here this morning and said he stopped my wife 2 weeks ago for speeding, and he was the nicest man in the world, so you couldn't ask for a better officer.
A nearby neighbor heard it all, making the 911 call for help once he saw Trooper Connor laying helpless.
I told him everything would be okay. He would be fine. He would make it through this. I seen he had a gunshot wound to the head.
Fast forward to the suspect, 20-year-old Raheem Davis's first appearance. The prosecutor standing before the judge saying the suspect fired multiple shots hitting Trooper Kevin Connor in his right eyebrow and torso. He even went as far as telling the court Trooper Connor took 2 bullets for a community he loved. As for the suspect, we've learned he was driving a stolen truck and is on probation. Authorities saying they still have not found the gun he used. This fatal traffic stop turning this community and the family of Trooper Kevin Connor's world upside down.
It's a true loss for our community, and a good man has definitely fallen.
Yes. Only see on Fox 46, and take a look at this video. A couple is seen throwing food and drinks at a bartender at Pinky's West Side Grill and then running off. Fox 46's Amber Roberts joins us now live from Pinky's on Moorhead Street in the Bryant Park neighborhood where this happened. And Amber, the woman has been identified, but what about the man?
Brian, they have not been able to track him down. When they caught up with the woman that was captured on the surveillance video, she told officers she did not know the man she was with. However, workers here at this very popular restaurant do not believe that. The two were seen riding in the same car, sitting at the bar together, and were on the same bill. Officers are working to make sure both are charged. This woman and this man walked inside of Pinky's West Side Grill on Moorhead Street. Workers say they struck a bartender in the face when they threw their cups and food at him. This is the serious cut to his cheek that had to get stitched up. Workers like Lauren Eccles couldn't believe it.
I did hear doom, doom, doom. Then, of course, at this point, I've turned around. There's a gash on my bartender's face. There's cups that are broken, and there's food that have been just slammed around.
In the aftermath of the incident, you see people inside, both workers and customers, stepping up to get those unruly patrons out. They also call 911.
So I'm not sure what kind of justice my family here would like. I do know that because he was hurt, we need to see something out of that. But I also think that people that may be exhibiting this behavior also need just as much help as we do.
Let's rewind. While waiting for their to-go orders. After paying, workers say they wrote an inappropriate message on the tip line and started demanding a refund. Then, as you can see, they began throwing everything they could get their hands on, including the food they ordered. The man's cup struck the bartender directly in the face.
How do we change an unjust system? A criminal justice system that for centuries has denied justice to our most vulnerable. A system born of white supremacy, racism, and discrimination, destroying families and devastating communities along the way. We vote. Can you see it? We have the power to choose people who decide what justice looks like in our country, so that black and brown children, men and women, are not treated as subhuman and undeserving of equal treatment, human dignity, and life itself. We can elect people who adhere to the ideals we pledge allegiance to. Our voices heard by representatives who really practice liberty and justice for all. What if society tried to put young black boys into college instead of into prison? What if black lives mattered? What would it be like if black people could live their lives freely without the fear of having the police called on them? Without the fear of a police encounter that could end their lives? Khalif Browder, Sandra Bland, Rakia Boyd, Laquan McDonald, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Stephon Clark, Emmett Till. Say their names. Say their names. Our votes can change the system. Think about it. What if we voted for a system where your bank account didn't determine whether you go home or wait in jail? What if we praised prosecutors for keeping people in their communities instead of putting them away? What if we stopped supporting the system that shows time and time again how little we believe in people? What if we had a fair justice system, a smarter justice system, a just justice system? We are the solution. We can vote to end cash bail, harsh sentencing, and brutality by police and prosecutors. We can do this. We can do this.
Okay, I think you got it. The last one was a fairy tale. But what was weird about the last one was not that the ACLU went out and found Common. Please don't make the mistake of saying nobody knows who he is. You've never heard of him. Nobody listens to him. This dude is an actor in major motion pictures, major rapper, and probably the biggest presence of all, one of the biggest, most powerful corporations in the world, Microsoft. They hire him to do these exact same things on TV. You've probably seen him sitting up there rapping about artificial intelligence, how it's going to change the world by people pointing cameras at cave drawings.
Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. Think about that. That's what technology really is. It's possibility, it's adaptability, it's capability. But in the end, it's only a tool. What's a hammer without a person who swings it? It's not about what technology can do, it's about what you can do with it. You're the voice, and it's the microphone. When you're the artist, it's the paintbrush. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. You have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. So here's the question. What will you do with it?
And so we have to say Microsoft is supporting his view on institutional white racism and how it affects everybody, how it's constantly keeping black people down. But that's weird. You know why? Because there are so few black people working at Microsoft. How many black people work at Microsoft? No, the answer is not half of them. The answer is it's like under 2%, under 1%. When you start adding up all the numbers of Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, all these companies run by these social justice warriors constantly calling us and our racial sensibilities into question, when we turn the mirror back on them and they say, hey, how are you guys doing with the fellas at your company? Then we start hearing about all these more fairy tales. Oh, we hire them. We gave money to Common to make a video. YouTube and Google throw lots and lots of money at these exact kind of videos. You've probably seen them, like Dear White People or something like that. So they don't hire people to do the work, but they give money to black people to complain about white racism, and they hope nobody kind of notices the difference, because noticing the difference between reality and this fantasy, well, that makes a lot of black kids angry.